And we're back. Hello. So because Jan and I have started the discussion, um, this was this was a boosted fight. Clearly, the original encounter in the book mentions the monkeys, so the right number of monkeys. It was 2d6, 2d6 monkeys. Um, I added the two undead ones for flavor. Um, the thing is, and there was only one golem. There were no lair actions, stuff like that. So the lair actions I took out of Volos with an extra flair. The idea of the murking, the swamp of despair. Huh? So it would have been especially hurtful if one of you had a white horse.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, one of you
Of
got
my,
it.
of my childhood. Ooh, ooh.
um, yeah. So as I know you guys are level 6, which means a lot of the combat encounters for the jungle were fairly easy. This was an encounter that was also
Make
supposed to
an
be.
Atreyu joke?
Sorry?
Did you make an Atreyu joke?
Yes, I did.
You're so mean.
I am the GM. Um, what I'll say is I wanted this to bump up a little bit because this is an ancient evil, and I just didn't want you to go through going schlick schlack. So I had it a bit more. A couple of things to know. Sorsha, your second Eldritch Blast was actually right on point,
Okay.
But
but
it didn't hit.
it didn't
But
hit. You didn't
yeah,
hit. You hit a 14 instead of a 17.
I was
Um,
gonna make a line, so
hmm. um, with regards to the flesh golems, I was kind of hoping that Gale would go for lightning because it heals them.
Yeah, I noticed that.
um, yeah, I made it a tough fight. I made it a technical challenge. It's still not over because Also, I rolled because you can see my dice. I rolled with these here, and the stealth check that she'd made, she'd basically hit a 20. So that perception, the fact that two of you managed to notice the crack of ice and the splash of water, despite having disadvantage, is pretty amazing. um, but yes, you definitely cornered her. She is bruised. Her ego is bruised. She's furious, and is currently now somewhere where you don't necessarily. Well, you have an idea of where she is.
it's been a
Um,
while since we had a boss fight.
yeah, it is kind of a mini boss fight, and I wanted it to do it justice so that you can have at least something. And no, this is not the boss fight that's going to get you to level 7. Um,
Oh,
we are
But it's
still.
a step along the way.
It's certainly a step along the way. Let's put it this way: if you had, I would have felt bad if you would have gotten to the loss to the next step, to the next milestone with level 7 without having given you at least one proper fight. And I think I did that. And there might
yep.
be others. So, let's get back into it, shall we? So, as Gale, you shimmy away you snap away the sleet storm. The ice on the grass. There's this twinkling of ice. Inete, well, I mean, she's seen ice, but that's not necessarily a problem. But it's mostly about she's going again. She's amazed. She's looking at Gale. This, by the way, how tall is Gale right now? So you are this avatar of the storm with the wind in your hair, the trident held aloft, your shield in the other hand, and basically calling down this ice, this element which Chult does not know very well. Let's put it that way. Um, and definitely, yeah. So, Right. And so she's definitely going, gods. They are gods.
When she's saying that, I will say with a very calm voice, "Focus. Our target is still somewhere here."
She was
She,
To
you know,
give her
she,
Uh,
give her a snap to reality,
yeah.
like focus on things. You can tell stories afterwards. Focus.
So, I'm going to remove basically all of your spell effects, your combat spell effects.
Yeah.
Calm down. So, Gale brings back to a normal action. Rune, how long is warding bond?
An hour.
An hour. Okay, so that's still active. Um, Heinrich. Yeah. Okay. So you find yourselves now in this glittering dungeon, glittering jungle, sorry, and you can see that you can already see that the ice has started to evaporate and disappear from the leaves, and you were left there with the cistern right in front of you.
mhm.
You're pretty sure that's where she plunged.
just before my detect salts evaporates. Can I
Um,
confirm that when I move, that she's basically in the well?
so I would say yes. As you maybe felt her thoughts sort of plunge below. Yes, but you are unable to determine more than that. But yes,
Okay.
I'll confirm for the sake of this with the detect thoughts. Yes, she has gone down.
Well, up or swim someone.
I suppose.
Uh, I'm going to have a look in the cistern, over the edge of the cistern, just to make to have an idea of how deep the water is. Does it fill it up completely? Is it lower? How deep could it be?
Um,
Just trying to
Inete.
size up the.
Okay, Gale. Inete comes up to you, places her hand upon you. You get 8 hit points as she casts Cure Wounds.
I'll take
While
anything you can give me, guys.
while they're busy, I'm gonna cast water breathing anyway.
Okay, so all of you have water breathing.
But Gale
Don't,
is water
yeah,
gymnast. So
don't waste it on me.
can I summon Nugget and can I give him water breathing?
Or a water form, if you have to
Well,
summon
water
him.
form would be a ritual, 10 gold pieces, and that whole thing.
Oh,
But
It
yes,
technically,
yes.
well, I'm gonna summon Nugget and I'm gonna give him water breathing so I can use him as a flashlight.
Okay.
Water breathing flashlight.
There you go. Okay.
Wait, how many people can I do?
Well, we can also use light, so if you want to spare a spell, we can do that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give Saoirse Vroon, right? Saoirse Vroon, Inete, Nugget, myself, and I'm even gonna give Laryl water breathing.
Okay. You do realize that not all of you are going to get into this thing. Right? As
Just to
in.
be sure, just to
Okay.
be sure,
Okay.
if anyone wants to go, they can go.
So it's what? Water breathing is 8 hours non-concentration, correct?
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay. Right. Okay.
Leroy is gonna just make watch out
Okay.
there.
So just so you know, the opening is 15. Well, it's here. It's 10 feet, but it should be 15 feet in diameter. Um, well, no, I'll say that the opening itself is 10 feet, and then you can see it widens a bit on the inside, so it's 15 foot wide. Um,
just
and about 15 feet below the surface, well, before the lip of the, you can see sort of brackish water underneath.
do we agree on the fact that it's water and so conductive to lightning?
There, I am not going to get into that because D&D doesn't go into that. Um,
I mean, the good old toaster in the bathtub. Real.
Jesus Christ. And I married you. Uh,
I mean,
wait. I need to. Wait.
Well, you can put it against her. Makes sense.
You know, I agree. I agree. So that's right. Okay. So I'm basically going to in blue right here. I'm basically going to draw the well, right? So you have the lip of the well that's about the entrance is about like this.
okay.
Okay.
And so this is the air. This is basically air, and what you don't see underneath is you can see the water, but you don't know how deep it is.
Okay.
How deep is your well?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you do?
If we need to go down there, I'm going to start by putting in a rope, and so that we can get out of it again.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Tie it to a tree.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
We are following a witch into a well. I'm loving it.
So
Well.
we agree that the DM's answer on my plan of just
Um, I'll mechanically sort of physics-wise, we know it makes sense. Mechanically, there's nothing that says for combat underwater with regards to electricity. Um, but I will. We'll see what happens. Let's say I might give them disadvantage on a saving throw or something like that. But you're not going to get.
No, it's a question because honestly, before we're going down there with the comrades, because I if it works and the whole water actually gives electricity damage when I cast a lightning based spell, then I'm not going to do that while my companions are down there and they're gonna be hit too.
That's fair. No,
So
I'll say this. The any area of effect spell will still be an area of effect. Any localized, which means hitting with your trident, for example, will not do anything. It's magical. It doesn't answer to physics, so the being underwater that will not affect the spell's mechanics. Let's put it that way. That way, there's no surprises.
okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to your players, GMs.
That's why I was asking, because talk to your GMs, players.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you make a natural 20, milk that. Milk it. um. So. What's the plan?
Well, Henry has caused some
Mhm.
water breathing, so I think Rune will go like, well, there's a rope. I'm going down.
Rune, you're gonna have to excuse me on that one, but I'm not going to take point this time.
That is fine. I will gladly take it.
Okay.
And
So
Rune goes, "Zhoosh."
Oh.
right. So
Follow.
Rune, you're in heavy armor.
Yep.
You do not have a swim speed.
No.
No. Okay. That's gonna be important. So, um, let's. I'm going to put this in. Let's put it in gray. So you sink. Whoops. You basically sink to the bottom. Almost immediately. So that is. God damn it! I changed the color and everything. So that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 feet.
Right.
You are in. I'm going to let's see
By the way,
right here.
before I go in, I do like light up my my floating lantern. I
Okay.
don't want to be in darkness.
Well, you are. As in
Yeah, I figured. It's
it
like
is
it's.
murky. It is you barely see the edge around you. It is heavily obscured. Um, so I'm going to put you at the bottom right here.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. So this is basically to help you. Um, how long is your rope, by the way?
It's a 50 standard 50 feet rope.
Yeah. So counting maybe what 20 foot for the for to find a tree or
I'm pretty sure everyone has one, so if needed, we can tie two of them together.
Do that.
okay. That's fair. Um, so I will say that Rune, as long as you're keeping hold of that rope, you're basically at the bottom and you have a rope that goes all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
I will allow that to be canon. So there you go. Okay, so you have a rope going all the way down. You might have put a rock around it and sort of dropped it in.
Yeah.
So Rune, yes, you are completely immersed in darkness. As you
And then there's a little drift globe. It's
there's just
very faint.
it's basically enough to maybe light your face, but that's pretty much it. It doesn't even reach to the bottom. What you do notice is as you sort of let's see. Do you notice anything? No, not much. Yeah. Make me a perception check if you're trying to look around.
Yes. Well, it's not going to be smell based, I guess.
No, definitely not.
So.
And here, I mean, you can breathe the water, but so therefore the smell, you can smell the brackish water coming. Okay. Um, as you're sort of moving about, sort of touching the walls and situating yourself within it, your foot hits. You you barely catch yourself as your foot hits these bricks at the bottom. It's sort of unstable ground as bricks have fallen sort of into the bottom of the well. And if you look with the drift globe, they're very much the same kind of brick that is actually lining the walls currently. I think that's when Gale, you swim
No,
down.
no, I go
Oh, you
then.
go as well?
I go then, and I ask the other, just wait before you go, and I'm gonna plunge. And when a bit after I go through the murky water, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. Huh, how does fairy fire work in heavily obscured?
You tell me. It
To
should
the
work.
Googles!
I mean, there
Um,
was like think about how light works in heavily obscured, because there was another thing that I was also maybe thinking about doing now.
okay. What I'm gonna, so.
Yeah, I'm going to move just to be able to see the bottom of the well because you've drawn it. So I don't see rune because of the walls.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, can you
Oh, yeah.
put that away, please?
sorry, what?
Can you
Because of the
add?
walls here,
Yeah?
we actually
Oh,
don't
right,
see
yes, okay.
the
Actually, you know
the
what?
bottom of the drawing.
I'm gonna move this whole drawing right here, like this.
Yeah,
Um,
somewhere where
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
same.
Right. Actually, rune is down here, not this
Yep.
rune. This rune is
What?
delete.
What? Oh.
Delete. There we go.
There was another one.
Yeah, I put another one, but let's see. For the duration, shed dim light and. Okay, so yeah, so
I'll remove
So it breaks invisibility
it breaks
and
invisibility, but invisible but not unseen, which I'm seeing here. Which means technically, if there was an invisible creature, it would not be invisible, but it'd still be heavily obscured.
yeah. So the point is, if
hmm
rune comes close, if we come close to something, we'll see it
Yeah,
clearly and
according
have
to
advantage.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Rune, make me a dexterity saving throw because you are being fairy fired.
Sorry.
it.
That's why I asked the other to wait.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So technically, you can decide yes or no to be considered fairy fired or not.
I mean,
Now,
Rune didn't know about this plan,
yeah.
and
Okay.
he's getting a spell on him, so he's definitely going, no, 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 no.
Well,
Mhm.
what's your spell? Actually, what's your spell DC?
It's who?
Yeah, George, I guess.
Sorsha.
15.
15. So no, you failed, Rune.
Okay.
Because as considered blinded, you automatically fail your dexterity saving
Yep.
throws.
Okay.
That's the rules.
So I light up.
You light up, but also what lights up is the entire bottom section of the well.
Mm-hmm.
And Zorsha, as you're coming down, you're half. So where would you put it? Sort of halfway through, halfway in? Because you don't know how deep it is. So
Yeah, so I was thinking because rune is a big mass. As soon as I see
well,
is
you would
the
see
globe.
you see the globe basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking, well, he hit the bottom. So before I hit the bottom, so I can hit bottom from,
Right.
kind
Okay.
of a,
So bottom up 20 feet.
yes.
Okay. So I'm going to count for the little bit of error. The walls basically sort of shine, dim light within. So it's just enough to maybe see them. It's very peculiar because you're in this sort of almost light fog. But there's a moment where um, there's about 20 feet up. You can see that there's a section of wall that is not lit.
Oh.
So you can
Okay,
see, so you see this wall of light basically, with Rune
Do
at
I
the
see it
bottom.
as well?
hidden
No,
passageway, probably.
you wouldn't see it, Rune, because
No?
it's too far up. But as you're casting the spell, you notice that there's this whole blanket wall of light, and then there's a
Can I
dip.
touch it?
Yeah, you realize that the reason why there's no light is because the light continues and there's a tunnel about 20 feet from the bottom of the well.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait for the other to descend to make them go that way.
I'm going. That's approximately the time where I'll be coming down, and I'll use the rope at least until I hit the water, just to avoid hitting the heads of my comrades.
Okay.
And then I'll swim around.
Okay.
And I'm just pushing you through the. Go there.
Yeah. So
Do I see the?
Yeah. So about I'll draw the shape here. So 5, 10, 15. So yeah, about here. I'll put in white again.
So I
You can
guess
so like
the
in sort of
water might.
in this way. There's a tunnel that
Okay.
that seems flooded.
Is the water still as murky in
Yes.
there then? Okay.
So you would technically be going in blind.
Okay. Do you consider I can keep my shield for when I'm underwater, or is that going to be complicated?
No, yeah, no
Okay.
problem. You have a swimming speed, which means that you have
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay.
Um,
Great.
so I'm guessing you are going defensively. You're taking sort of the dodge action or whatever as you're going
Yeah,
through.
I'm going to prepare indeed with a dodge action,
Well,
and going in slowly.
okay. The thing is, well, I'll say this: it's not necessarily a problem to have your shield in front of you, but definitely you
Uh-huh.
will be having to put your trident away as you find yourself moving about, almost sort of touching. You're going by, you're searching by hand as you're walking,
Yeah.
as you're sort of swimming through. You're crawling
Oh,
through this entrance.
I'm not exactly going blind because with my shape water, I can at least clear the water 5 feet before in front of me.
That is true. So yeah, you clear the water in front of you, but it only lasts for a few moments as the murk sort of re-swirls around you as you move about.
What I'm actually trying to do is create a current that pushes the grime down right in front of me,
Yeah,
and
but
then
yeah, but yeah. So it would see you, but it will not serve for the others behind you as the
yeah, no,
as when
yeah.
you when as you've whenever you've touched the bottom of any silt at the bottom of a thing, is you put your
Mhm.
hand in, it just flows over. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, the thing is you would, well, the silt here has been rummaged through.
yeah. Okay.
Um, so I'll uh, so before you go any forward, Sorsha,
Yeah.
Vroon, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go down and try to grab a bit of room to like grab it.
Okay.
So just firstly try to grab a bit of room, but nicely so
Like
he won't
you
yeah,
touch
you
one of
know,
the
like attack
ears.
me.
Mm. So, Vroon, so
Mhm.
Sorsha, you find the hole. The hole is pretty much, it's not you. It's not tight for you, but definitely you would be feeling it's about, it's about this wide, right?
Mm.
Which means it's comfortable enough for you to swim through, but Vroon is going to have to squeeze in. You with your armor, you're realizing you're a big boy. This is this is a hole that was not made for people of your size. Do you still want to try and squeeze in? You are technically
Um,
not technically not squeeze. You'll be able to move through,
Yeah.
but you're not comfortable. You're not going to have all your movement of action, stuff like that.
I plunge into
would
the
it be
water.
Wait,
would
wait,
it be
wait.
considered climbing?
Um, Interesting. I'll get back to you on that once Heinrich has his say.
I'll plunge into the water. Do I see Vroon in the situation of
No,
I'm a big boy?
no. As you plunge into the water, you can barely see 5 feet in front of you.
Well,
Oh, but
before
well,
I'll plunge in the water with Nugget in pocket light mode because also water breathing on Nugget. Start
yeah, but
to
again,
swim. No,
it's headlights in the fog, right? Which is the only thing that you're going to see is just um
well I'll go
But you see
down.
a light
yes,
further down.
you
Yeah,
see a light further down. Actually, you realize that
actually, a green big light and a small white light, and
yeah.
Well, I'll start to swim to there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make the directional go there, and then I'll follow you on
we,
the
we, we,
tunnel.
we
Do
can
I
talk.
see
We can
Yeah, you
talk
can
underwater, you know.
Vroon?
actually I don't know
Do I
if that
see Vroon?
I think water breathing makes you able to
Yeah,
talk underwater.
you can
Oh,
normally
okay.
talk underwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I see Vroon normally when I'm at the distance of Sersha?
Let's put it this way. Yes, you find that Sorsha and Vroon are sort of looking up at this hole, and you can kind of feel them around, and you're holding there. Vroon is struggling to get in. Yeah.
Rune is at least like the easiest to see.
Yes.
Rune,
Because he's
Rune.
this lit up.
Yeah.
Rune,
it's
I'm gonna
very
cast Reduce on you. So you're not a big boy anymore. You can swim with us.
It's not a big boy.
So
Hey,
you're
you-
now
It's a big
considered
boy.
small. So yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So basically, Vroon, and then Heinrich, and then Sorsha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Inete? What does she do?
Oh no, Inete. Well, somebody has to stay above to make sure the rope doesn't go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
It's a very
Yeah. And Leroy is not enough for that.
No, and Inete is actually is going. Okay, no. Okay,
Laryl does
go
not
ahead.
have hands.
Laryl
That's a
doesn't
very
have-
important factor.
Okay.
He has teeth
Yeah.
though.
But so as you're swimming through this, the corridor is not that long. It's maybe 4 or 5 meters long. Before you can see Gale as you're swimming. I'll say this about the tunnel: it is very much a one-way, as in it's tight enough for you not to be able to sort of turn around and back up.
Okay.
Unless you
can
need to
turn
go
around just
through and
fine.
then come back.
I
can turn
have
around
a
just
solution
fine.
for that, but I'm not gonna use it right now.
Okay. You as you come by, there's at some point the tube basically goes upwards a little bit, and you can
Okay.
see you can just see the surface of the water. So the water breaks into a water pocket above, but
Okay.
obscured you can't really see much unless you decide to open it. Well, you open it up, I guess,
Open it up as in?
as in the murky water.
No, I'm not gonna clear it
Okay.
because I'm not stupid.
Okay.
However, I am. What am? How am I? No, that's in one direction. I need to see. Yeah, no, the problem is each time I need to see.
So you can feel Vroon sort of pushing, just as he's moving up
a-
forward, and then there's a
A
bump.
very small room. Like,
Yes, but very very illuminated as well.
Mhm.
How long
Yeah,
does
okay.
fairy fire last?
1 minute, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much at this point, it's
Yeah,
Slowly
it's
1
gone.
minute.
diminishing.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
slowly dimming,
Uh,
which is actually good thing for you.
I am thinking
Gale,
of.
could you please make me a stealth check, please?
Okay. I was going to decide, but I can do a stealth check, no problem. Yeah, roll twice.
Okay.
And I'm going to get out while unleashing. Can I get out and take the dodge action at the same
Yeah.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can.
Then I'm gonna simply do that. Try to take as much by using the sides of the tunnel. Try to get up and roll aside as soon as possible.
Okay.
Once
So
I'm
you're
out of the
not
water.
doing the slow going upwards. Because I had the
No.
Apocalypse Now kind of slow rising from the from the
Oh no,
water.
because I'm fully expecting her to be ready to target me with a spell. So I'm going up and then ready to dodge.
Okay. Um, Oops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Yes, there's definitely a moment where as you rush out, you can see her sort of hunched over. She seemed to be sort of bandaging herself,
Mm-hmm.
and as she there's a hiss, and she goes for a sort of a large gourd, um, and she throws at you. So, could you please make me a? Because I'm gonna use your spell for this. Could you please throw me a Shatter spell, at the minimum level, but just throw Shatter,
Yeah. Okay.
and I want you to resist against that.
Okay. DC 16.
The DC would be 14.
Okay. And that is a Constitution saving throw. Okay. Am I still blessed?
No.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, so you
So
take
I'll take
7 thunder
half.
damage
Okay.
as this, actually I would rune right behind you. Um, Could you please make me the same save with advantage because there's
What save was it?
Constitution
Constitution.
14.
Oof.
Okay, nice. So you take 7 damage as well. As this echo just sort of rushes through, you can feel the pressure wave as it hits, and I'm not going to have you roll damage, or I'm not going to have you roll, for this fight. Um, I think it's just going to be a cinematic. She doesn't have many spells. She's cornered. She doesn't have her tricks or thing. So, I mean, y- Gale, you
I'm
rush
going.
out.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to do something just to allow my comrades to get out of here,
Hmm.
get out of the water without an immediate issue. I am going for the first time to use my Decanter of Endless Water on Geyser.
Interesting. Okay.
So
So
I
wait,
aim it at
because
her.
so you have your shield, you have your
My
trident.
trident is on my back.
Okay, right.
So with my free hand, I am going to grab the decanter of endless water,
Hmm.
and as it as
I love
using the
it.
geyser producing 30 gallons of water that over 30 feet long and 1 foot wide. So
Okay.
I aim it at a creature I see, so the
Okay.
hag, and she must succeed a DC 13 strength saving throw or take 1d4 bludgeoning damage and fall prone.
So she does an 8. She has an 18.
Yeah, okay. So uh, is splashed by the geyser.
She coughs the same way you sort of gagged on the water, so the brackish taste.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
pure water
I
coming from the
decided.
elemental.
Yeah, it's pure salt water coming out of the elemental.
Oh no, 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 no! She is not enjoying the taste of that. Though the salt might actually add something to it, but definitely. Rune, as you're coming up, there's definitely that taste of salt. There's a new taste in the water, which is sort of salty. As you're going, what's going on? And you can see as you come out, basically, Gale fire hosing this hag at the back of the cave. The cave
I'm
is
covering you.
she tries to go invisible, but the cave is not large enough within to give her any way of escape, and you're blocking the exit, which means that as you come up, you have your hammer ready. You can do as you wish. Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to have you roll for damage. This is purely cinematic.
Mhm.
As you come up,
Well, there's a.
um,
Well, actually,
hmm?
it's like because Vroon is small, but is he still? Because that's also 1 minute.
1 minute. So technically, the moment you would get out, it would
Well,
you
you
would get
could.
hit again. Yeah, I'll.
Oh, oh.
Yeah,
So
so maybe
it's
the
tiny
last
little
part.
elephant, and then suddenly it goes.
And all of a sudden, in this geyser of water, as you retake your natural form and push out push the water out, so in a splash, you're going ah! You're looking about, and you can see the hag in the corner being basically prison showered. Um, uh, yeah, see Pulp Fiction, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Uh, and so yeah, you come up, you slam it in.
Slammer into the wall even more.
As you and the hag is, I mean, technically, yeah, she had sort of bandaged her wounds, but it's 57 hit points is not going to help her very much when her best damage spell happens to be vicious mockery. And she can go invisible, and she can again. It's a very small, cramped room. So very quickly, you hammer, you pierce her, and within
I
a
mean,
couple of seconds, you
I'll
find.
definitely at least take down another one of my first level spell slots
Yeah.
for
Okay. For the
another
smite. Yeah.
smite.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, that's the idea. If she goes invisible and moves out of the way, Gale just adjusts her fire
Magician.
hose to find her. So it's yeah. There's no way for her to win. Um. As the rest of you sort of crawl up, so Heinrich um, and Sorsha, there's definitely a moment where there's no second guessing it. This is the cadaver of a hag. As she sort of, you can see that her her skin loses its. She almost sort of dissolves in this tarry substance. Um,
What a world! What a world!
yes, what a word. For a second, I thought you were talking about Kevin Costner movie, but then I remembered, no, you're talking about something else. Um, yeah. Um, so, but next to you could see that she was reaching for a large tan hide sack in a corner of the chamber.
Heinrich, can you take a look at this? Because I'm not touching anything a hag was going to use without having it identified.
I'll go a bit closer. I'll use Mage Hand
Hmm.
to like open the flap of the bag, and I
Yeah.
start to like
So,
like to take it out.
so as you open the flap, it is you can. There's no doubt that that the sack itself, as you can see this throughout the stitching, you can see different colorations of the hide. You understand this to be human skin.
I
Um,
continue to pick up the stuff, and I won't say anything about
right.
it.
So you find within it, and so get ready for your for the inventory update. You
Ready.
find right.
Ready? Okay.
You find 6 Onyx Gemstones,
Oh,
so 50 gold
really?
pieces each.
How much?
50.
So that's 300.
A spell scroll
I mean,
of
technically we haven't
comprehend
sold them yet,
languages.
Eh. Don't need it. Eh.
Oh, what, you already have it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a spell. Well, for example, that's a spare spell slot. If you want to, the next time you want to cast comprehend languages, just use a scroll.
Eh. I'm yeah.
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 And a bit heavier, you find 10 adamantine ingots. You recognize it because the sheen of it matches the armor, Rune's
weapon.
armor. Yeah, and weapon. Um, but it is stamped with the dwarven runes.
Mhm.
Oh, Gale. New armor, right?
I'm not sure we're gonna find here in the jungle someone who's able to make an armor out of that thing.
If we survive, we're gonna. Or a weapon.
Oh yeah, if we survive, I'll be happy to. But right now, I doubt we're gonna find someone.
Right. Okay. Does anyone speak Dwarven? Or can read Dwarven?
No.
Okay.
Oh, by the way,
I am
when
speaking Dwarvish.
oh, by the way, when she was talking in Sylvan, since I speak primordial, I guess I would have understood too.
Not the same.
Not the same.
No, not the same.
Isn't primordial like a cover for all four
No.
of the
Yeah, 4. So
elemental languages?
Yeah, but Sylvan is not
Yeah.
elemental language.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. It's druidic.
It's Fey.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Fey. Okay.
But for answering the question, yes, I speak Dwarvish also.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the runes seem to be coming from, they're stamped as in there's definitely a maker's mark to the stamp, but it's also there's a name onto it. And the name is let's see, it's at Hrakamar.
Rune,
And
does it say something, buddy?
I've heard that name before, no?
yes, you have.
That, yeah, it rings a bell.
Hmm.
Welcome. Let me check my notes.
Wasn't that like?
So it's on the stamp. It's the name Hrakmar. It would be stamped the same way as a place of origin. So the dwarves would mark their ingots as in, okay, this adamantine comes from this particular place. So Harakmar in this case, Harakamar in this place is in the place where you would have the bill of origin of the ingot.
Okay. Well,
Where did we hear that thing, Warkamar?
while everyone is thinking of putting the ingots in
Yeah,
the bag,
and the bag of holding. Yeah, okay.
like, oh, what a shame if we would let it here. What a
Hmm.
shame. What a shame.
Wasn't something Eku said, Warkamar?
It wasn't Echo.
Was it Celia?
I mean, you can always ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll ask. Right now, I have no clue.
Yeah,
And
but we did hear that.
and before everyone, like when everyone is plunging back in the water and we took everything, I'm gonna burn that bag.
Okay.
Just burn it and like, oh, what a shame. And
Okay.
Vroon has his usual size back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I can reduce him again if you want.
No, does he need a hand? Because I have something.
What do you mean?
Jump down, just go 5 feet forward, and I'm putting myself behind you with my decanter of endless water, and I'll just shoot you out.
Push me through.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
You just have to keep straight on, and it will
Superman.
be alright.
Superman pose.
And then you can grab the rope and
Watch
start to
out for
climb.
the wall, though.
Hmm?
Watch out!
Yeah, just grab the rope.
Sorsha, if you're looking for the name Hrakamar and where you would have found it or heard about it, make
Yes.
me a history check.
Yes, I can do that. History. Ooh, good history.
Okay, I want you to look throughout your handouts, and I want you to find the guide Musharib.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, Musharib.
It rings a bell for me.
Okay, cleanse ancestral forge. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere in the jungle.
Or at least somewhere in the mountains, yeah.
Okay.
Most likely in
Do
the
we
mountains.
Do we still have the other? Because I don't have the.
It's claimed by Fire Newt. Okay. Fire Newt. I don't know what a Fire Newt is, but Fire Newt.
Mm, yes, you should have. Here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking it all over the place, but I couldn't find it. You imagine I have all of this on Roll20 and I had to look in the book. Anyhow. So yes, as I'm not gonna have you. You clearly you easily climb out of the well to a very um, relieved Inete. But also standing there are Eku and Selida.
That's quick.
Oh. Decided to join us.
Actually, no. Eku, not Selida.
I guess she flew up.
um, or yeah, well, anyways, no, Salida will be in there in a few, maybe in a few hours, but Eku is so as Inete is the rope is taut as you climb yourself out, and you can see Inete sitting down, and in front of her is Eku. Eku has basically sort of cleared part of the area of all the bodies and whatnot, and basically you can see her very meticulously is building a fire.
Well, hello.
Hello again.
You seem to have had a very good idea of that's what we've just accomplished.
Please sit. There is a story to tell you.
Gil will go and sit, groaning a little, because she took some damage in that fight.
Gail, care to make a trade? Some healings against some dryness here. please?
Oh, you don't even need to ask, actually. As soon as you get out of the wall, she shapes the water and just throws it back into the wall.
Perfect. And I'm gonna use a Cure Wound on you.
No, keep your spells for now. We're gonna rest, eat something. That's gonna help. And if you can play a little music a bit later, it's gonna be perfect.
Okay. As you wish.
And she's just gonna sit against the part of the wall that's still standing there.
Okay.
While Eku almost finished the fire, I'll just snap my finger and create bonfire to help her, like expedite the creation of the fire for us.
Okay.
And I'll flop down on the ground and be like, okay.
Oh, by the way.
So, now that this has been taken care of, would you care to enlighten us, Echo? Or are you still sworn to silence?
She sort of looks at you and sort of has the same gesture as like in due time, you know. There are things to be done in certain ways. Oh, by the way, the warding bond, I think. Well, no, it'd still be up. It's not been an hour. But there are things of way of saying. The story that I told you about Imbala was incomplete. Let me tell you a story of Imbala, but not a centuries ago. A group of scholars decided that they wanted to see above the jungle and to study the stars in the universe. And so they settled in Bala. Their predictions of weather and calendar made them influential across across the kingdom of Chult. Many would come from far away to consult their oracles, as they would say. But with knowledge comes power, and with power comes, well, jealousy. And so often they would fear for their knowledge, fear the influence and dangers of the jungle climbing up the walls. But they were not a warrior sort. So they called upon their knowledge of the heavens and called upon a guardian. The guardian was to protect the residents of Mbala from the enemies about. But this was not enough. For the guardian was powerful, and the scholars feared it in a way. What would happen if the guardian would be angry and turn upon us? So a pact was made that the guardian would never be able to harm or to bring harm to a resident of Mbala. Armies were turned back. Dangers and creatures. The Terra folk laid waste by this guardian. And for generations it was good. But one day a sickness came. It came through the waters, through the vines, through the plants. Crops shriveled. Children went hungry. The elderly would waste away. And the guardian could do nothing. For this was not a danger from beyond Mbala. A sage walked up to the mountain, claiming that she knew how to heal. And she did, and soon found the remedies necessary to push away the sickness. She was applauded. She was accepted, given residence in Imbala. The guardian knew her tricks, knew of her and her kind, but she had only words to speak. And the academics, the astronomers believed that they knew better. How could this person, how could this savior, this sage, who has saved so many of us, want us ill? They said. Surely you are jealous. Do your duty. Save us from what is out there, and do not handle affairs within. The guardian could not do anything else but obey. And for the next generation or two, she could only look upon the wasting of Imbala and their residents. All the while, one would survive. She witnessed the last of those residents, his head smashed by a rock by an old grandmother who he thought incapable of such violence. The last thing the guardian witnessed was the laughter of the last resident of Imbala, against which they could not do anything. For Nani Pupu was a resident of Imbala and the last one, and myself had no power over her. I will admit that I have sent to their doom several expeditions who had taken upon themselves to rid Imbala of this evil. None were enough until you, and for that I thank the gods of having put you onto my path. As now the last resident of Imbala is dead, I myself find myself free of this pact. Does this story answer your questions, Vrundaman?
But it raises another.
She smiles
What
and
will you
nods.
do now?
And she looks about and she says, I have vowed to bring you to the sage, and I will do so. I have vowed to be your guide until the moment you dismiss me, and I shall do so. I have vowed, but I will do not more. Inete is looking at Eku with eyes and going, the fuck is she talking about? As Eku turns to her and says, little one, this you will keep to yourself. But this body is not my form. It is pleasant for those at Port Nyanzaru to look at, for my real shape would not bring much comfort. Mostly alarm, I think. there's a moment where she probably gets the same kind of flash that you got, Rune, the winged serpent,
Mm-hmm.
as you see Inete sort of jump up and climb, sort of take 3 steps back, sort of almost pointing accusedly and going. And she turns to the rest of you. None of you look surprised.
No.
Yes, yes,
No.
no.
And to which she turns to you, to the lot of you, to Inete, and says, "You knew about this?
Yeah.
How, and you
Not
did not deem worthy to tell me or Salida?"
It was not all secret to tell. You must understand that, right?
Inete sort of turns against to Echo and said, "And you deemed them worthy of your secret, but not me?"
At that moment, I start to get
I
up
she
very
she
slowly.
she starts saying, "I am a priestess. I am a servant of the gods. How could you not trust me on this? I have been walking with a celestial creature for this past month, walking in hell, and you have been there judging me." And she starts breaking down, basically.
Inete, you're actually you're the only one she told who she is. We discovered it. She told you just now, but she didn't tell us.
I just sense the presence.
She raises her arms, sort of flip the table, kind of. Of course you did. Of course. How can I, simple human, understand the secrets of this group? Of course you detected her presence. Of course you understood her nature. I am too blind, too simple to understand any of this.
While she's talking, I will scream with the loudest voice, "Silence! You will sit down, and you will be goddamn grateful that she told her fucking secret to you."
Roll me an intimidation check.
with disadvantage because I'm looking at you.
No. This is between him and Inete.
Yeah, but I just stood up
Jesus.
and went and sit next to her.
Yes. And this is the first time that Inite ever see me very pissed off. And I will just say, "Sit down
Is there?
and show some goddamn respect."
Okay, so you just hit a natural. So for those, I'll just show that you just rolled a natural 20. So you tell me how this rage expresses itself.
I think it's just him getting all these frustrations, and also at the same time the bitching of, "Oh, but me, a simple human, cannot understand your worries and woes." And it's just like, okay, shut up, sit down, listen, or I swear to God I will unleash hell. But now you will be grateful for, like Saoirse said, that Eku trusts you to tell her secret to you. And I swear to God, if you said the sentence again of, "Oh, you poor human," I will slap that childish behavior out of your face. And I will slap you so hard that you will fly back to Port Nyanzaru. So show some goddamn respect to us and to Eku at the same time. Do you understand me? And I will look at her face. I will take her face and I'll say, "Do you understand me, child? Answer me now."
Wow, natural 20 on intimidation and a natural 1 on insight.
Oopsie.
As in,
Okay.
she doesn't just drop down; she breaks down in tears because that's exactly what she was complaining about, as that she was but a child, and you just confirmed it.
Yeah, for me, she's a child right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fact is, she went up that mountain to prove to herself and to others that she was a valuable member of the team, that she had something to bring. And by reminding her that she's, with your words, very much poked that back, that opened up that wound. But
God damn
she's,
it.
I mean, that's the thing, is that you have what you wanted. She's sitting down and she's not saying anything anymore. But right now she's got her she's got her head in her hands and she's sobbing.
Gail is just going to softly put a hand on her back and let her, for the rest, just let her express all her emotions.
Mm.
She's not gonna do more.
I'll go away angrily, and I start to dig some holes for putting the any remains that I find when we entered. The remains I start to dig, and I'm focusing on that.
You mean that the 5,000 skulls that were at the entrance?
I'm doing something because I'm very pissed off, and I think it's not a good idea that I
Okay,
stay around. And
fair
this is
enough.
the first time that a lot of people are seeing like, yeah,
Right.
no,
Okay. So as you leave the campfire, headed towards headed towards the mounds of skulls at the entrance. The only sound behind you are the Inetis sort of sobbing. I think she kind of turns into Gail's arms as well as Gail. You're trying to comfort her or
Yeah.
keep. There's just there's a sort of a ranting, babbling about her, cut off with the sobbing.
Mm.
Yeah, everything is coming out now. This was the final. She built up her courage to come up here, sort of pushed her emotions away, got in a fight with a hag, got almost sucked into the ground by skeletal hands,
Yeah.
and now there's this. It's just too much.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, Heinrich, you start digging. You find something, some implement to sort of hugging you.
yep, start
Um,
digging.
so this is going to take about an hour. What are the rest of you doing during that time?
I'm waiting for Inete to recover a
Okay.
bit because I guess she's not going to sub for an hour,
No, she's not
for
going
a
to sub
full
for an hour.
hour.
No.
Voila. And as soon as she is getting back a bit, as soon as she's getting a bit of a grip on herself again, um, I look at her and say, "There is one thing I want to make really clear, because that is something that has been worrying and bothering me since we started off. You look at us as if we are gods. You are a priestess of your god. You must know we are mortals. We are doing incredible and very impressive things, but that is only a mortal power. Well, except in my case, my powers come from my god, but they're expressed.
Echo pretty much sort of got, said, hey, stop. Inete.
Oh,
Do not,
you.
as you start rambling, he sort of calms and
Mhm.
sort of,
No.
Eku speaks and says, Inete, do not think child, the word child, is a judgment on your capabilities. Heinrich himself has many things his own judgments, his own feelings to process. Do not think that this was directed towards you specifically.
He
There is. You have come farther than many seasoned adventurers that I have seen. Many, many step into the jungle and do not come out. But everyone who steps in the jungle and who does comes out changed. Like iron in the fire. You can either forge. It can a blade can be strengthened through the fire or made brittle. You, I can see now, will come out stronger. If you do not feel that you wish, if you do not feel comfortable moving forward, then I will bring you back. I would ask this for now. Do not speak of my nature to those at the port. I have many things to do there that would not be helped should my nature be revealed. We have gone through things, you have gone through things, and yes, I trust you enough with this. I know who you are deeper than maybe you know yourself. You have strength in it, and it does not come from any god above yourself. Gods reward strength of character. Continue to be strong, and the gods will empower you.
Speaking of the gods, and in it, you have brought them up a lot. And in reference, the point is the gods chose you to grant you a vision.
She nods.
You are the one chosen by the gods to do great things.
The thing is, you seems to forget that we accepted you amongst us. We even fought for your right to follow your vision, to follow your own courage. Like when you climbed up there, you are courageous. We accepted you. Yes, we don't have the same level of experience. But you're throwing a fit at us like we're the enemy. And, well, you're throwing a fit in a jungle. The problem is not your courage or your capacities. Your problem is your attitude.
Raising up and slamming back down.
So swallow it up, and prove you're a strong woman. And face it. That's all we ask of you. It won't be easy. You knew it wouldn't.
Yeah, she nods.
and Inete, once you're back in the city, there is The chance that you meet something that will throw you off as much as anything you've seen in the jungle is very small. Cultivate, work on that, on your attitude, because a straight face and a possible capability of being unperturbed, whatever happens to you, is something the people will respect. Is something
And sorry, go ahead.
that will bring you a certain amount of influence, I guess. Could be one word for it.
Okay, she's going to be working on her Warcaster feat.
Fair. She probably should, yeah.
So this goes on, the conversation goes on. The situation has calmed, sort of diffused itself. Heinrich, you are, yeah, about maybe 45 minutes later. You are still sort of digging ditches for the skulls, and you can see Nugget has sort of joined and sort of scratching the earth and tried to help you out. When beyond the doorway, you see a very sort of tired, not tired, but um, she's breathing heavily. You can see she's her skin has been darkened by smoke. Her clothing as well. Um, Sort of eyes sort of red. You can see a fairly uh, it's not exhausted, but yeah, I guess exhausted Salida as she comes up and she says, "What? Where is Eku? Where is that bitch who left me down there? Has she been here already? Or did I
Oh yeah.
beat the old woman to this punch?"
Oh no, she's here first. And hello also.
Yes. Well,
They're over there, and I point, and I continue to dig.
and she turns to you and said, "What?" She maybe takes 3 or 4 steps past you, stops and turns around, sees you digging, sees the smoke coming from the fire on the other side, and she said, "What has happened? Did you find that great evil that Eku was talking about?"
Oh yeah, we destroyed it.
She raises her eyebrows and what was it?
Not this rich boy's story to tell. I think it would be nice that you would join the others, and I will finish what I put my mind on
She
for the
she
moment.
looks she sort of crosses her arms, look at you, and says, "I I could go to them and ask for their story, but I want to know your story. What happened here, and why do you feel that it is your burden to bury these skulls?"
Because they're scholars, just like me. They looked for knowledge, they looked for a better understanding of this world of Chult. And out of respect, and as a fellow scholar in certain things, yes, I take this burden on me.
Hmm. Well, if one lesson that I've seen among your group is that you share burdens very well. Why are you here alone?
Personal pride.
She maybe sort of leans a bit towards you and says, "Pride is something that you leave at the port."
She says it, and I continue to dig.
And I think what she's going to do is she's going to sort of look around and basically, yeah, she's going to look around and says, "Let me find you a shovel." And sort of
No,
walks over to and sort of walks towards the yeah. And so for the rest of the group, you see a sort of Salida walking up towards you. The way I described her. Uh, as she sort of she comes up to you and says, so basically sort of plumps down on the floor and says, "Well, I am glad to see all of you resting so well. Eku, how did you manage to beat me? I came out full speed and you were still here before." Eku replies and says, "Well, I have been here before. I know the shortcuts." Salida sort of scowls at her and replies, "Well, next time, share them." Anyhow, why is your scholar digging up grades on his own? Do none of you feel up? Do any of you? None of you? Sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. Do you feel like that you are above the task?
Tusk is quite large.
And so he should be better. So it is better for him to do it alone.
No. But there was other things that were more pressing.
Well,
Like resting, this fight was a bit of a hassle.
well, we will save that story for the meal, huh?
And by the way, I'm going to throw a couple of hit dice.
Oh yeah.
On that, yeah, for that note, let's just say that yeah, you'll get the long rest. Nothing is going to happen before the
Okay.
long rest. Though you do notice on at several occasions sort of flying above as the goes as um, the light goes dim to the end of the day. You do notice that you are being watched by terrafolk
Uh-huh.
as they fly around. You do know that they must have a nest somewhere in the area, um, but maybe that is not something to be done today.
Mm-hmm.
As the At some point during the evening, Heinrich, um, Salida does join you. She does bring a pair of sort of shoveling tools, and comes to help you. I think Inete does as well.
Oh, I'm certainly going to go and help Heinrich once I'm rested too.
Yeah, I think Inete would be one of the first. Salida would go sort of hand you a shovel. Inete would be right behind her. And there's definitely a notice, as in she's also a scholar, and these are her people as well. So it's
Mm-hmm.
um, but yes, the and maybe Gail if you join in. The task
Mhm.
is immense. It is. There's nothing that can. It's thousands of skulls.
I'll say it otherwise. If I take the shovel in my hand,
Hmm.
normally when I cast Enlarge on myself, the shovel grows with me at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
So technically, if I cast Enlarge on myself, I have a bigger shovel, so I can be quicker. I can
Yeah.
make bigger holes quicker.
Yes, absolutely. I'll
Yeah,
allow that.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
um. When you cast enlarge on yourself, there's definitely a snigger from Salida, and she's and as you know, recognize. Of course, you would use magic for this. But it's not mocking. It's, oh, right, yes, of course. Why would I expect he would do things the normal way? Um, and yeah, so that's the evening. I'm not going to say you managed to bury all of them, right? Um, as the ground is quite rough, um, you find yourself having to break up quite a few, not cobblestones but flagstones, as the vegetation covered up the streets, but these streets were paved stone.
Mhm.
And so it's grueling work, and there is not going to be enough time in the day or the next or even the one after that for you to, but enough maybe to put you at a bit of ease, as in you've done something for them.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't see Sorsha like shoveling up there, but what she would do is maybe carve a message on like a big frontal stone, um, like a big rest stone for the area. She would carve some
Mm,
for all of them.
okay. Do you carve a personal message? Do you go to someone to ask?
I would probably consult Echo on this,
Mm-hmm.
but if she doesn't want to add anything, I'll just write a short story of the event
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and maybe a maxim like do not mistrust those who protect you, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely, yeah, the Eku would also help you translate it into Old Chaltian, so that
Okay.
you would write it in common. I think you would most likely have on this. You find a white stone, and you start carving into it. How would you carve into it, by the way?
um well, we have ingots of adamantium if needed, so
What, you're gonna use the ingot to?
if needed.
It's not the most. I mean, each ingot is fairly heavy, yeah. But I mean, I
Heavy
would.
is relative.
You would find there'd be old carving tools. No, I don't think they'd be really. But I mean, in the interest of what we're going either through magic or some other means, yes, the maxim is carved. Um, the story itself is, by tradition, you're told that by Eku, is like those are not things that are written down. These are told. So it's the oral tradition of Chult. But the Maxime, for example, very much, yeah, there will be at some point. Do not mistrust your protectors or something along those lines. There's definitely the Maxine is there, and this is a shrine to, in a sense, that also that um, intelligence is nothing without wisdom. There's something along the lines, and but you have to kind of work, because there are two ways. There's one about beware the evils that will trick you, but also don't be the fool.
Hmm.
So there's how far do you go? Do you are is this a cautionary tale against don't be foolish, trust the people you can trust, and so basically all these cadavers were kind of idiots, or more or less I'm going no, putting the fault on the saying beware, you might be the most intelligent may still be fooled by an evil mind.
I think knowing Sorsha, and she's she's not the most trusting person,
Mm-hmm.
so I think she would go the second way.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, um, consider that the efforts for the rest of the day. You have a long rest. Um, there's definitely as the as you take cover under the dome. This time, Eku and Selida and Sengo, there are too many. We're too high up. There are too many Terrafolk. We're so everybody under the dome basically. And there are a few moments during the night where these lumbering shapes sort of walk up to the dome, pack them with their beak or their claws, and there's maybe a javelin thrown at it just to sort of check what Sort of, you can see that it's being queried as to um, how to move forward. Um, you're being explored. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But nothing. But as long as you're in the dome, you're safe. So.
Yay.
Um, the next day, what are the plans for you? So let's see how the weather is treating you. Okay, interesting. So heavy rain. Um,
Oh, good. That's cover from the Terrafolk.
yeah, but it also means but yeah, you can see from the top of where you are. There's definitely that even I think even you can barely see the top of the heart of Uptao from the distance, and you can see
Okay.
over the region a dark cloud has moved in, and you can almost hear the rumbling of the jungle as the water hits the canopy. It's going to be a wet day again. But
Yeah.
as you mentioned, it might just be the opportune weather for you to prudently climb down
Yeah.
Mountain Bala.
How many feet is it to go downstairs?
Oh, to go
Just
down, I
curious.
think it's
Are
something
you
along
just
as
gonna feather fall?
800.
Wonderful.
You guys want to jump off and sort of just go, okay, when I see the hit the ground, feather fall.
Well, I'm
Well,
gone. That's your decisions, guys. But after 200 feet going down, I will look at everyone and be like, well, this would be normally the correct distance to use this spell. So if you want, well,
Okay.
and I'll just cross my hands and I say like, well, or we do this or we go down with magic.
Yeah, I think you would get in. You would probably get in just above the heavy rain cloud, just as you're entering the rain cloud, and you start getting so you're starting to get soaked because you're in the cloud itself.
Mm.
Um, the rain being horizontal, vertical in every single direction.
I'll probably use shape water to at least make sure that around us we don't have where
Yeah,
well
that would no shape. I don't shape water would really work on rain, but I appreciate the idea.
I can always cast levitate and we jump.
Okay, so if you guys want to cast Featherfall, how many Featherfalls are being cast?
Yeah, I'm also worried about the
how
amount of
does
spells that
yeah
can
how
be
does
cast in a short
featherfall
time.
yeah how does featherfall works and
Up to 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature stays of
Oh
distance goes to
wow.
60 feet per round until the spell ends. And because it's 1 minute, it actually means it's 10 rounds. So actually, we can go down to 600 feet in 1 minute,
Okay.
if my calculations are
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And
And I
the
think that all the while you're going down, you're going no, not yet, not yet, not yet. No, I think you're going calculation, and then at some point you're stopping, going stop. We can all jump now.
We are 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can cast two levitate.
how does levitate work?
10 minutes and I float gently down to the ground.
For how
Um.
long?
10 minutes.
And is it concentration?
Um,
So I know that
yeah.
Featherfall, yeah. So you would not be able to cast it
No.
twice.
Uh,
Could you upscale? Could you upcast it to choose 2 people?
no, because it's my loot.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Yes. So
Even if with the normal version, there's no.
Can I carry someone in my arms, like while doing Featherfall
No,
downstairs?
unfortunately, that doesn't.
Not even Drew.
Rune might, because I think
Yeah,
it's I
just
think it's something. I think it's you and everything carrying capacity. So.
Oh yeah, my carrying capacity is like ridiculous.
Um.
Let's see. Carrying capacity is 480 pounds.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and
And that's
Eku
without spells.
and I think Salida was going. There is no way that I'm trusting you guys with this. I'm going down the right way. Um,
Fair.
and Eku probably has a con. Oh, I think I would be interested in the experience.
Yes, I can imagine that it would be quite an experience to fly down for you.
Well, it is not. It is not flying. It is
Actually,
just falling with style.
Yes.
Gil is a bit hesitant. Like, yeah, jumping seems nice, but if Salida is going down the long way, shouldn't someone go with her just so that she's not on her own?
She doesn't seem bothered by it, and I think she will go fast. She will be fastest without us.
Hmm. I mean, you'll be down there
So
in a minute. She'll take a couple of hours. So.
who wants to have Feather? Who wants to have the spell upon them? And I just look at everyone. So
Uh,
who's up?
Sosha, you can take care of yourself,
Yes.
right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 with Eku, so that's all of us. Salida goes down on foot, and
If Salida is the only one walking, I'd walk with Salida.
Okay.
Do you want me to send a reroll with Salida so we can check?
No.
Okay.
I'll
It's not.
point.
It's really like it's also. It's not that I don't trust Salida. I don't want her to have to walk alone again after she just came
Okay.
up the mountain by herself.
By the way, how much did you tell Salida about the story? About what
That,
went
that
on?
that's totally up to Eku. Like,
No, what I
I
mean is
think
what happened, because
oh,
of
I
the
think
encounter, the fight, the nature of Nani Poo, that whole thing.
I think what we knew before Eku came up.
Okay.
which is nothing.
No, as
No, but
in,
which is the fight and how we
Okay, yeah.
realized she was a hag and so on and so on. I mean,
And she ate everybody.
I mean, there's definitely she would have definitely made a comment saying, well, I mean, if Mbala is now for the taking, I mean, we should be. And she looks to Eku and she goes, well, we should bring people here. People, this is we should repopulate this place. People would pay good gold to be brought here after being cleaned up, of course.
I'll just point to the people and also Inete, I think. I'll cast a spell, and it's more like a confident smirk of this is what I know, what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I start to run, and then I jump and I
So,
fall down.
yeah, okay,
wait,
so here's the thing.
didn't we say we couldn't go all the way down with the Featherfall
No, you
because it's
can.
only
Yeah, you can.
600 feet in
600 feet.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so we'll finish the last part on foot, I guess.
No, it's
Well,
800. You went down 200. You got to the
Oh,
edge
okay.
of the cloud bank, and
Yeah.
basically Heinrich says, "Okay, we're good now. We can jump." There's
Okay.
definitely so the way the Featherfall works is that you do not cast it if you're touching the ground, when you touch the ground, Featherfall stops. So
Yep.
it kind of means that you need to jump out first, then
And
cast the
just
spell.
Heinrich.
So it's like ha 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 ha.
But
Yeah, but
everyone needs
if
to jump.
yeah,
Come on,
everybody
guys.
needs to jump at the same time.
I'm gonna do my levitation.
No, I'm
So
gonna.
anyway, so who jumps basically?
I'll jump. I trust Heinrich enough for that, and I'll still tell him, Heinrich, if we crash, I'm gonna kill you.
um,
Oh, if you
Frankly,
don't
my
mind
dear, I don't give a damn, and I cast a
so
spell.
Inete is going, I am walking with Salida, and Eku basically pushes her off the ledge and says, "Live, child." And Eku just sort of throws her down. And so yes, for a brief moment, um, you all of you are sort of plummeting. Inete is screaming. Um, I'm thinking that
I'll probably go. I have levitation, right?
right, yeah,
So I have more control than the other.
yeah, you can actually move your speed. Yeah,
Yeah, I have more control. So if anybody goes too close for comfort to a rock, I'll just push them.
levitate is only up and down.
Oh
Hmm.
yes, but
Yeah.
I can try
Yeah,
to,
okay.
just
Any
give a little
It's
nudge.
very difficult to get into a right position to push someone if you can only go.
up and down. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
But
anyways, not
I I can touch the rocks, and it and my spell doesn't stop because you
no, but
know.
yeah, but the thing is, if you push the rock, you move, and that inertia stays.
That's true.
You're a balloon on the wind. That is basically what the levitate spell does. Anyways, doesn't matter. What does matter is that the all of you sort of drop to the ground. Inete feeling there is a moment though, as you're maybe about 200 feet, you've dropped down about 300 400 feet, and you're starting to see the ground below you. So you're about 100 feet, about yeah. Anyways, you can start seeing the canopy through the cloud cover. You're just underneath the cloud cover.
Mhm.
Um, when you start seeing sort of circling around you, you start seeing these triangular forms of the terrafolk as you are sort of drifting down slowly, like sharks around, um, uh, you know, uh, like around swimmers. You can just see them sort of sort of wondering what's going on. Um, Arun, could you please roll me a? Actually, no, Heinrich, because you're the one who threw the spell. So how many of you? You're
I'm
sick.
also I'm not down there.
You're not down there,
I'm
right?
walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's walking.
So who's actually? So Vroon is and Selida are walking. Eku, Sorsha, Heinrich. So that is 5 people. So could somebody roll me a d5, please?
And United.
Do it.
Plus, Sorsha is levitating. It's only 4 people who have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're in a group, right? You're
Yeah, we're in a group of 5.
Yeah. Roll a d5.
Yeah, roll a d5.
Okay. It's yeah.
Creatures and monsters. There you go.
Oh, is it slash maybe?
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
1. Okay, so actually they're gonna go for Sorsha.
Ah,
So the first
okay.
you can so Sorsha,
Sorry.
as you're moving about, there's a javelin that flies your way. That's a 7 to hit. So caught
Yeah.
with the winds, and you can see that in the just moving. But then again, they're not. They seem to be circling.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast their asses.
Okay, fair enough. So you start. Okay, go ahead. Roll a couple of hits. Now this is a dogfight.
Yeah. Don't come for us.
Okay, nice. Yep. And okay, so yeah, there's definitely as you're walking through the one that threw that blast at you, that javelin, you point towards it, boom, two blasts. You can see it hurt, moving to the sort of moving back, and the others seem to sort of be wary about what's going on. I'm guessing with the amount of Inete with the sacred flame, you making enough mess for them not to come any closer.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm guessing the rest of you have cantrips that are enough to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, ray of frost and create bonfire. So.
Yeah.
Toll the dead.
Okay. Yeah, definitely they're keeping their distance and they shoot away as they notice that you are not as helpless as they might think. And there's definitely a moment where Rune and Selida, you were also sort of picked upon as they try and there's maybe a few flybys. There's a sort of tentative, and Selida is she just arrow. As soon as you started walking by, she's had arrow to the bow, fires a couple of shots, and there's definitely a um, as a hit, you can see that she's poisoned her arrows, and you can quite clearly see it as well. They none of them really come into close enough for you to smash it with the hammer. But okay, there's a guiding bolt. Yeah. Um, I just want to see the damage.
Yeah, you want to see the damage?
Well, I rolled for it, but
Oh.
but go ahead, you roll for it because I rolled
Yeah.
crap.
Well, I also rolled not great. Actually, this is might be worse probably.
But the idea is you throwing a radiant bolt at one of them. Salida is right after, picks it off, and you can see that the arrow going through the neck or part of the actually maybe part of the shoulder, and you can see the Terraform sort of gliding as in no longer able to control its flight and sort of gliding towards into the canopy around. You scare them enough off for you to continue safely. Do you want to have? There's no conversation to be had with Salida?
Yes, I kind of did. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So just so you know, we're gonna be ending on that conversation as we're coming up on time. So go ahead.
So, Solita, you seem to not be. How were you left behind by Echo?
she, we created the ruckus, the smoke, the bonfire, and then when we had moved sufficiently, about maybe an hour afterward, after you had all left, she said something along the lines of that we should catch up with you. I guess I decided that um, I was the quicker one of the two, and so that she should go first. I had not expected it be for her to be that fast.
Well, you shouldn't underestimate people.
Oh, I maybe not. Well, that is what I said to Heinrich. Is that pride is to be left at the port. I guess that was one moment where I should have taken my own advice. Yes.
Hmm. Perhaps so.
Hmm. Uh, but anyhow, I was happy to see that it worked and that you went up there.
Hmm.
Hmm. And now you are heroes of Imbala.
That is an empty title for an empty city.
Ah, but with the river so close, it will not stay empty for long. There are many people who would leave the port for a new life here, even if it is in the jungle, and if they do have to clear up some brush.
And Terrafolk.
Ah, well, we can always count on other expeditions to deal with those.
Yes.
I think there are a few adventurers. We should talk to the people at Camp Vengeance. Give them something to do for that is worthwhile, huh?
If they were still there, then yes.
Oh, they will be back.
Eventually.
But this time, give them a promise of somewhere where they could have clean air. They will come running.
I suppose that dealing with the Terrafolk would be easier than wave after wave of the undead.
Hmm. Maybe so. You just need better climbing gear.
And then Bruin sort of looks at his like he's got some special gloves on. Like, yes,
Special gloves? Oh,
yes,
right. You have
yes.
yes, you do. You have those. Um, she looks at it and going, I do not know what that. As you sort of wiggle your fingers, she says, I do not know what that means.
I mean,
um,
but I think that's like probably like he'll probably like want to show off a bit. I mean, he is of course a
Glory Paladin.
glory paladin. So like,
Yeah.
and like he'll definitely like because they're walking along the wall
Yeah.
of the cliff, and he'll probably just go like like goes at the wall and then starts climbing very nimbly actually.
And I think we're gonna end it. Yeah, it's because what did I just say about pride? And I think that, and I think we're gonna end on that. Okay.
Nice.
Um. Thank you for today, guys. Um. As always, this yeah, the fight went a bit long, but it was a big fight, and I think
Yes.
Oh, it was fun.
um
It was really fun.
and while I don't think that you have gained a level, I'm pretty sure that Inete might have.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Yes.
going to move her from level 3 to level 4 with regards to the well, I'll have a look at what I can do.
Yeah.
perhaps then
Um
she'll be a bit of a less of a whiny bitch.
well.
Oh.
Um So, guys, this is our last recording of the year. We will be meeting all together for the first time in a couple of in 2 weeks now.
Less
10
like I
days,
mean it's
10 days.
like
less than
yeah.
10 days, for a private and face-to-face uh,
Little game.
little game. So
It
don't
is.
worry for those at home. You are not going to be missing anything with regards to this game particular here. We will be back beginning of the new year in 2022. Hopefully with some upgrades as well. If everything goes well, we might be looking a bit more professional next time we meet. So, to those watching, thank you. Here's hoping for 2022. It's going to be a big thing for this group and for elsewhere. Maybe expecting a couple more tables on the channel as I've been buttering up a few other groups. Maybe a game of Blades in the Dark. Maybe a game of Fate Accelerated. Not exactly sure, but hopefully everything should be going through. We might actually have a table in French now that I think of it. So,
Nice.
on that note, happy holidays. We'll see you in the new year, and thanks for watching.
Bye bye.
Bye.